Big misconception about the role the spine plays during the golf swing amongst amateurs. And I've heard it quite a few times. Well, I've been told that I set up in a proper spine angle and then try to maintain that during the golf swing. That actually is not very accurate. And I want to discuss that with you and demonstrate what the spine is actually doing during the golf swing, because it is changing angles and positions throughout the swing. But before we do dive into what we're going to do, we need to understand the proper terminology so you can understand what's happening. And when I talk about spine angles, we talk about in terms of flexion and extension of the spine, as well as lateral tilting, okay? So an example of spinal flexion is when I would bend forward over my belt buckle towards the ground. That brings my chest down. That's called spinal flexion. Extension is the opposite. It's when I arch my back, get my chest up to the sky, and create that extended position. We also have lateral tilting, and that's going to be a left side tilt and a right side tilt. So during the golf swing, our spine angle is going to work through all of these positions that we just discussed. A lot of amateurs will feel, okay, I'm going to set up to the ball, but I got to maintain flexion throughout the swing. What happens in that case is you're going to move off of the golf ball dramatically. More importantly, you're not going to be able to use the right foot correctly because you've broken the chain you've broken the kinetic chain and you can't get into the ground. So what we need to do, set up in flexion. As we build our backswing, we're going to transition into lateral tilting over the left side, as well as getting into an extended spine position, okay? Now, a lot of people will say, wait a second, if I get into an extension position with my spine, I'm going to reverse pivot, and that's not actually the case. A reverse pivot is when you put all of your weight on your left leg or your lead leg and lean towards a target like that. That is a reverse pivot. Creating spinal extension actually is going to give you more power with less effort because you're creating more height in your swing, which creates more leverage, and leverage equals power without effort. So when you build your backswing, I want you to feel like you're getting taller, tilting over your left hip, and that's going to give you more energy and allow you to use your right foot correctly because you're loading into the ground instead of loading into your right hip. So then you can be balanced in the transition, push off that right side, deliver quality contact through impact, and hit the ball better.